Listen, you are definitely taking your time for granted. Think back at the past year, the past 2 years, 5 years. How much progress have you actually made towards your goals? Now, you are so delusional to think that you somehow will come up with extra time to allocate towards your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Now, where do you think this time is going to come out of? And I'll be honest, it's not your fault. Weeks go by, months go by, and you ask yourself, where did all this time go? The harsh reality is that in today's society, our schedules are made to keep us busy. You work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then you're allocated 2 days of the week to yourself. But let's be real. You'll be running errands, doing chores around the house, catching up with your friends. Are you actually allocating time to yourself? Now you may be watching this video and you're like, Mike, what are you talking about? I'm always making progress. I've been doing this, I've been doing that. Oh, look, I've done this. Now go ahead and be honest with yourself. Take a look at what you've worked on towards your goals and how close have you actually gotten, like realistically. You could set a goal of running a marathon next year, and you could spend the entire year walking in preparation for this marathon, but will that actually get you ready for that marathon? What I'm trying to say is that being busy does not mean progress. You know exactly what work to put in to get the results you're after. And all that progress is in the work that you're avoiding. Now in today's video, I'm going to break down a system that I've been using and I implement in my day-to-day routine to accomplish my goals and work towards whatever it may be. Now I understand that everyone has a different lifestyle, routine, and responsibilities. Now with that being said, if you're able to take even one or two things from this video and implement it into your routine, I assure you, you will make substantially larger movement towards your goals than you have in the past year, 2 years, 5 years. Now I'm going to break down my daily structure. As most people who work a 9 to 5, that's myself as well. I wake up every single day at 5 a.m. and I go work out, whether it be going to the gym, go for a swim, go for a run. And the easiest part about doing this is as soon as I hear the alarm, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for that day. It takes the decision fatigue out of it. And you're wondering, okay, what is it exactly? A training plan. Following a training plan reduces the amount of friction between you going to the gym and hitting the snooze button. So by having that in place, the less decisions that you can make between waking up and going to the gym, the better. One factor that a lot of people contemplate, they struggle with getting out of the bed. We give yourself excuses, not negative thoughts, but excuses. You'll be in bed and you're like, oh, you know what, I'll go after work. I'm too tired, or I didn't get a good night's rest, so I'm not gonna go today. Or, wow, should I go to the pool or should I go for a run today? Or should I hit back or chest? All these decisions are creating friction. And so training plan, highly recommended. Now this is one of my favorite parts I've incorporated into my daily routine is I wake up, go to the gym, come home, and then I get ready for work. So whether it be shower, hygiene, pack my lunch, have breakfast. Once I've done that, I make sure that when 8 a.m. hits, I'm in front of either my piano, my computer. I'll be doing something productive. And this is a 30-minute chunk of time where I'm not distracted and I don't have the day's stress, and I'm able to attack this 30 minutes. Now, I understand some people like to go to the gym in the evenings, and that's completely okay. But I would still recommend the 30-minute chunk in the mornings for the following reasons I had mentioned. All right, so at this point, I've hit the gym, I did a 30-minute chunk of productive work, and then I head to my actual work. Most people's job will end around 5, 6 p.m. For me, I arrive home at 6. What I end up doing then is I decompress. You know, it's been a long day. I have dinner. You know, I'll catch up with family, and I'll take a shower. And taking a shower is important because it signals to your body that the workday is done, and you don't carry the stress from the workday to your home. And it's just kind of a nice little ritual. I'm sure it might not work for everyone, but it's worked for me. Once I've done all that, I'll take about an hour or so. 7 o'clock rolls around. Exactly as you would assume, another 30-minute chunk. Now, I will do, like I mentioned, practice piano or study Spanish. And I'll be honest, I'm not perfect. So there'll be days when I come home from work and I'll be overwhelmed. I'll be stressed out, and I end up just opting in for Netflix or doom scrolling. So I'm human too, but I feel like we can always try to work to be better. We can set a high bar, and if we end up falling below it, that's okay, but at least we kind of have a gauge of how we're making progress, and we're trying. Now, by having the 30-minute chunks in the morning, that's 2.5 hours of productive work before the workday even starts. If you find out a way to allocate 30 minutes in the evening as well, that is 5 hours of productivity that you just got out of nowhere, really. I mean, what is 30 minutes in the morning? What is 30 minutes at night? So now you're probably asking, all right, Mike, you told me Monday to Friday, I'll try to incorporate those 30-minute chunks. What am I going to do on the weekends? How should I allocate my time? And the truth is, before I go into my thought, is people take the weekends for granted. Like, it is the most underrated days of the week. And you might be like, okay, I totally get that. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's obvious. But we don't treat them valuable enough. And I'm so shocked that society hasn't really prefaced this, like, amongst your friends and family. Like, we really treat it as a day to kick back and just do nothing, be lazy. And that's completely understandable since you're fatigued from the work week. So you look at Saturday and Sunday as time to kind of, kick your feet back and recover from the work week. But the way that I look at weekends is like a chessboard, okay? This is a perfect analogy. Monday to Friday are like the pawns, right? There's plenty of them. And to be honest, they're not of much value in a game of chess. The queen, though, I mean, there's only 2 of those on a chessboard. And as you can imagine, the value of that trumps all the pieces on the board. So anytime you wake up on a Saturday, please don't treat it like a pawn. Treat it like a queen. Now that I've prefaced just how valuable the weekends are, you're wondering, okay, Mike, what do I do on the weekends? How do I allocate my time? And I think there's no reason for me to guide you on those 2 weekdays because people's lifestyles vary so much and your hobbies take up a different amount of time. So it's hard for me to able to provide you a solid advice. But I will say this, if you are able to implement the 30-minute chunks from Monday to Friday, you will have the discipline, you will have the knowledge and the habits to be able to implement a structured day on a Saturday and Sunday where you're allocating a substantial amount of time, whether it be 2 hours, 3 hours, into your ambition, your goal. Okay, next topic. You say to yourself, all right, Mike, I'm committed. I'm going to do it. I'm going to allocate these 30-minute chunks in the morning, in the evening. And then you think to yourself, you're like, okay, but what am I actually going to do? Like, what is worthwhile my time? I'm sacrificing my mornings, my evenings, and it's going to be hard, but I want to make sure these 30 minutes are worthwhile. In my next slide, I will go over 3 pillars, which I will share and guide you on choosing things that will be worthwhile. Now, what you need to do is just make a choice and make it be the right decision. You can't expect to have all these options and choose something and hope that it's going to work out, hope that it'll be the right decision. No, you make it the right decision. You work to make sure that decision you made will be the right one. Stick to it. I want to share a quick example, right? I started playing the piano, say about 3 years ago, and at first it was difficult, like anything. I was self-taught, picked away, worked away, and I ended up actually getting really good. And then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if I can get this good at piano, why don't I try guitar and try to pick that up now? So as you'd assume, I bought a guitar. And although consciously I knew that I was going to have to go through a difficult period of being a beginner at guitar, I just wasn't ready for it. And so what I ended up doing a year later, I sold the guitar. Now, while that time that I spent struggling with the guitar, as you'd imagine, I lost all my progress on the piano. So I ended up not only wasting my time, I ended up losing progress. The moral of the story is to stick to it, because if you end up flopping around, you're going to lose progress and regret it. Okay, now the 3 pillars that I was talking about. Every person should have these 3 things as their hobby, goals, ambitions, something productive that they're working towards. Now, this is just a guideline for those who don't know where to start, okay? And I'm not saying that you cannot be successful and whatever dreams you have aren't worthwhile, but there are some things you can choose to pursue which will benefit your life which will benefit your life in a bigger margin than other things. And what you need to do is you need to look 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, even 2 years, sure. Just look ahead, zoom out and see, okay, where is the angle for this? Where will it take me? And so that's why I thought this would be a very good starting point. First pillar is fitness. Every person should be doing something active, whether it be sports, bodybuilding, you can even take up tennis, but whatever you end up doing, the reason why fitness is important because it develops good habits, but it makes you want to go to sleep on time. It makes you want to watch your diet. It makes you want to say yes to being healthier. And so developing those good habits changes your lifestyle when you have something like a fitness as one of your go-to things, okay? Number 3 is creativity. Everyone needs to express themselves in a way, whether it be painting, whether it be playing an instrument, there's a long list, writing, journaling. Doing these things allows you to express your creativity, okay? Everyone has a creative side. We just need to get the opportunity to express it. All right, now pillar number 3 is a skill. I would argue most people will agree with me. Who doesn't want to become a much more preferable candidate? Who doesn't want to make bigger steps in their career, okay? If you can allocate time towards, let's say, getting more certifications, learning how to code, learning a new language, okay, these will open doors for you, which you wouldn't even know existed because you didn't have these skills. You weren't looking for job opportunities that are hiring bilinguals or looking for people who know how to use social media. So incorporating these 3 will be able to give you some guidance, okay? Like I said, I want to preface, there is no right answer, but there are things that are going to be much more worthwhile to pursue, and in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, will give you much more benefit. Now, one thing I want to mention that a lot of people struggle with is short-term versus long-term mindset. The issue in today's society is we are so quick to say yes to everything and we struggle to say no. Okay, as soon as something disrupts our 30-minute chunk or something comes up where you have an option, people are so quick to say, yeah, I'm down, let's go, which I'm all for, experiences and trying new things. But I think the reason why people struggle to just say no is because the thing that they're working towards doesn't have enough value to them. It isn't as worthwhile. And so you need to find something that makes you say no to other things. Okay, I'm wrapping up the video here, but I wanted to quickly do a thought experiment. I kindly ask, please close your eyes, okay? Please close your eyes. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Close your eyes and think of yourself 20 years from now, okay? You're 20 years older and just picture your life being not what you expected, okay? You don't enjoy your job. You don't like how you look. Your relationships fell off. You're waking up miserable. And it's just nothing what you expected it to be, okay? One day, you're laying in bed, you're scrolling your phone, and old photos come up of when you were 20 years younger, okay? And you look at yourself and you start thinking, man, where did all that time go? Oh, how I would do things differently. I would take more sacrifices. I would be more ambitious. And then you start going down this loophole and you're like, you know what? I blame my family. I blame this person. I blame my work why I wasn't able to accomplish my goals. And then finally, you think to yourself, you're like, man, what would I do to go back 20 years from now? Oh, I would give up so much. Now open your eyes. Your wish came true. You're 20 years younger. You've got all that time back. Please don't waste it. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching my video today. I really appreciate you guys watching till the end. Please drop a comment, give me a like if you like this kind of content. I have a lot more where this came from. I always love sharing a little cool mindsets and concepts that will help you become a better version of yourself.